Hey, what's up guys? It's RMalayeri and I'm back with a brand new video for you. I have a very special video for you today. I did an interview with the developer of a jailbreak tweak called Wi-Fi SMS. He goes by the name of Treason on Twitter, and I wanted to talk to him about his tweak because it turns out that it is actually helping several of my disabled friends be able to text where they formerly wouldn't have been able to. Both of them have muscular dystrophy, and they have difficulty, constantly moving their arms to be texting and things. And with Wi-Fi SMS, you can actually access your iPhone's SMS app straight from your web browser, and you can be sending and receiving text on, let's say, Safari. And so with the use of a virtual keyboard and a mouse, my friend has been able to text without having to touch his phone, and it's greatly helped him with his communication. And it's just another way of showing how jailbreaking enables things that normally wouldn't be possible, and it can actually help improve people's lives. So I wanted to do this feature so you guys could, get a better look at what jailbreaking is, what it can do, and why it is such a huge thing. I am a team member of the Worldwide Jailbreak Convention. We're actually doing a big convention where we're getting some of the best and the brightest in the community together this fall, summer fall in San Francisco. So you guys check that out at jailbreakcon.com. And this piece is going to be something that sheds some more light on why we do this, why we love it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the video.
Sure.
We'd love to have you with us over in the Bay Area this summer when we do the big convention.
Oh, cool.
So, I wanted to do an interview with you because, I have a couple of friends who have muscular dystrophy on the Geeks Riot team, and I did a an article about you on iOS App Advice quite a few months ago, which is my personal site. But since then, since I met all of these guys and I started using it again, they were like, wow, they came up to me and were like, well, we've heard about this thing where we can text from our computer. I was like, yeah, totally, I've been using it, it's great. And I set it up for one of them, and now they're telling each other, and the word is spreading, and they're all calling me like, hey, how do we set this up? I want to buy an iPhone just so I can jailbreak it and do this. So, I mean, the word is spreading, and like you were saying, it wasn't your intention when you developed it, but it's definitely turning into something that's helping the disabled people quite a bit.
Yeah, that's really great. I had no clue that anyone would use it in that way. But hey, yeah, that's definitely great.
Yeah, so since I'm involved with JailbreakCon and jailbreaking is a big part of my life. I've been jailbreaking since the first iPhone. I wanted to kind of bring this to light to some people who might not understand what jailbreaking is all about. And, why we're so excited about it and why we'd want to be able to do it. So that it would, give people an idea of, why it's good to be able to do that with your device, but also how it can help, people in general improve the quality of their life, let alone the advantages it has for further development of products and hardware and services. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So I didn't really write down questions like I was planning to do, but I just had some general questions for you just to get people familiar with yourself and what you do and stuff like that. So maybe you could kind of give us a little bit of background. I mean, you don't have to go into personal detail, but just what your experience has been with the iPhone, how long you've been developing for it, and what brought you to want to jailbreak and do things like this, and maybe just give us some background about Wi-Fi SMS and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I've been jailbreaking since the first gen phone, and I've been a programmer for the past 10 years. I'm not primarily a iOS developer. I'm not. That's really something that I do on weekends and something for fun because the iPhone is fun. You know what I mean? But primarily, I'm a web developer, working for a startup. So yeah, the whole Wi-Fi SMS thing was just that, you know, my wife and my family members and my friends would text me a lot while I'm programming. And it got to be a real drag having to pick up my phone every minute to answer them and then put down the phone again and type some more code and so on and so forth. So really, I mean, Wi-Fi SMS was the first ever Objective-C app that I worked on. You know, and the majority of Wi-Fi SMS, you know, comes from open source tools. You know what I mean? I'm not really, you know, great at reverse engineering and that kind of stuff. So everything was, you know, found online. You know what I mean? I forget what forum had the first post, but I found, you know, some forum that said, you know, well, this is the way you can send an SMS in Objective-C. You know, so really once I saw that, then it's just that, all right, so now all I need is a web server. You know what I mean? And then a little more tinkering, and I see, well, it's just a database file. I already know SQL, so I could query the SMS database to do whatever I want there. You know, so everything just kind of fell in. You know what I mean? But, you know, I wouldn't put myself on the same level as a lot of these other iOS developers who actually reverse engineer the methods and whatnot. You know, but yeah, you know, it was really something that I wrote for me to use. And then after I wrote it, I figured, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that would want the same thing. So, you know, so I put it out there open source and put it out there free.
Yeah, that's
rundown.
That's the other thing I noticed is that you didn't charge for your code, which you know, definitely want to thank you for your hard work. But what is there a way for people to donate to, you know, to all the work you put into this? I mean, you spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, you know, I did put up a donate link, and that's actually the first time that I've done that with any of my software. You know, like I've always had side projects outside of my main job. You know, I used to develop a lot of media center apps, which is you know, the Microsoft TV deal. You know what I mean? So I did a lot of that, and then I made some iPhone apps for Media Center, and all these things I've been doing for these years. I've never once, you know, asked for anything for it. I really just did it because it's things that I want to use and I want to share. You know, so this is the first time that I ever put a donate link on. You know what I mean? And yeah, so there is definitely a donate link, but the reason why I don't feel good about charging for this kind of stuff is because I feel like I took all of the knowledge from things that others have shared, and I feel that it would be wrong of me to then charge for these things when, you know what I mean? Sure, it's my time, but the knowledge comes from the community, so I figured I should give it back to the community.
That's definitely very commendable, and you know, it's obvious that you not only gained that from the community, but the community is reaping massive rewards when you break it down to the level of a disabled person who formerly was not able to text message. Now all of a sudden all of their friends are in shock going, whoa, how and why is this person texting me so much? It's kind of, you know, awesome. So
yeah, that definitely is.
You know, so people that have a way of paying it forward, and you're definitely doing that. So I want to thank you for that. So do you see yourself developing any more tweaks or anything else for iOS, or was this kind of, like you said, just a, hey, you know, this has helped my daily life and you know, kind of a one-off thing?
Yeah, you know, I'm not really sure where it's going to go from here. You know, there are still some hurdles in iOS 5 that I haven't been able to cross, which is like, you know, sending an iMessage instead of doing an SMS and a lot of that kind of stuff, which I don't really have as much time as I would have liked to, you know, to learn the reverse engineering and to take the time to figure out how to do these kinds of things. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that's another reason why the source code is on Git, because I hoped that if I made the source code public, it might, you know, grab some other developer's attention and say, yo, you know what, this could be better if we did it this way. You know, I was kind of hoping for more of a community involvement instead of just, you know, me, where I only have a couple of hours on weekends to code these kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where I think I would really love to be able to give you some sort of outlet at JailbreakCon. I think JailbreakCon is the perfect venue for you to be able to, put it out there with all the rest of the jailbreakers, because some of the best jailbreakers in the world will be there. And, I'll do my best in whatever way you think to get the word out. I've
Cool.
I've already started to talk to a couple of other developers. They keep asking for suggestions on things that they should work on next, and I kind of put it out there that maybe they should work on assistive types of tweaks for iOS, because it's obvious that there's a huge need for that just by looking at Wi-Fi SMS, and I've gotten some good reaction. So,
Yeah.
if you were to say that, pick on some things that are missing from iOS, or things that you would like to see more modifications and things like that, do you have any particular things that you'd like to see done?
You know what I would really I would like it if notifications didn't have to be sent from Apple's servers. I would love it if I could send a notification to my device without going through Apple in order to do so. You know what I mean? I don't know, but that's something that, I guess I could benefit from, because I run my own servers and things like that. So maybe not the average user might not want that. But I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been more, more people looking into that kind of a thing. That and the other thing is that I'm surprised that there's still not a way to record a phone call. You know what I mean? And I understand that that's something that's, I think early on I did some researching on it, and I think Thoric actually said that, the baseband runs on a different, there's a different level of access, how the phone is separated from the apps, so it would be difficult for a developer to do that, because they would run the risk of, messing up something in the baseband or something like that. But to me, that's something that I think the iPhone really should have,
Or phone call recording?
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Yeah, I've thought about that myself. It'd be nice to have that capability. It would help just for day-to-day use, but then again, you never know when you might need something like that,
Yeah, ideally, you got this device with all this space. I would just want to record every call that I make, because you never know when you want to go back and say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. There could be a lot of uses for it. So the phone recording thing, and then custom notifications that don't go through Apple's servers could be interesting things that could be suggested when we have a forum with the community at JailbreakCon. What do you think about JailbreakCon, by the way? Are you excited about it?
I think the idea is great. You know what I mean? To get all these people, together to talk about these ways to get around the walled garden that Apple makes. You know what I mean? Because really, even when developing Wi-Fi SMS, there's very little community involvement with these kinds of things. There's very little, code samples of this is how you might want to tackle this kind of task. You know what I mean? Of course, if you're developing an App Store app, forget it. And the wealth of knowledge is crazy. Everything is documented. There's, code samples, so it's very easy to learn. But when you're doing jailbreak dev, it's almost like you're on an island somewhere, and you're just, figuring out the stuff on your own. So I'd like the idea that, that the community is going to meet up and talk about these kinds of things. But I would really like it more if more developers would open source their stuff. Gotcha. Because when you do that, you allow other developers to spin off of your ideas and make things that are better. But I understand that there's definitely a monetary thing there where, you make something great and you want to be you spent the hours to figure it out. You want to reap the profits.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so definitely, I hear you. I think what I got from that was that there needs to be more, openness and collaboration in a form that it allows other devs to kind of learn from each other. And, you know, the fact that a lot of people want to monetize their work is what's kind of holding that back. So maybe we should have a separate forum where, you know, people monetize their code. You know, they can keep that separate, but we should have almost like a dojo where you can go and, you know, train to improve your jailbreak development skills, like some sort of resource like that.
Sure.
Is kind of what I got from that.
You know, and it doesn't have to be that, you know, let's you know, open source everything, you know, and that's not what I'm getting at. I guess it's more along the lines of, you know, here's snippets of code to accomplish little things. You know what I mean? But things like that aren't really out there either.
Almost like a jailbreak SDK of some sort.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That would be the ultimate, you know, where if you want to do, you know, you've got a separate SDK that's just for jailbreaking and it's got stuff and you can just plug and play and work with it.
Yep. So, and something that's editable by everyone. You know what I mean? Where, you know, because I know with this Wi-Fi SMS thing, you know, that there ended up being about 3 or 4 different ways to send a SMS. You know what I mean? And in the end, you know, one was much better than a lot of the other ones. You know, but it's nice to know that there are 5 different ways to get around this. You know what I mean? And those kinds of things, you know, need to be in some kind of a repository where, you know, it'll have all this code.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Treason. I'm getting so many good ideas to pass along. Anything else that you can think of that you'd like the community to know that I can pass forward for you?
Well, I mean, you know, I guess I would kind of like to thank the Joe Haja. I can actually send you the guy's name, but he's a developer on Twitter, and when I was doing a lot of my Wi-Fi SMS coding, he was one of the only devs that were open with sharing code. You know what I mean? So he was really instrumental in me developing my app.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I just want to throw that out there because I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to be said that, you know, I'm taking all the credit for this thing. You know what I mean? It really is a community thing, and I did get the majority of the ideas from other devs that are open.
Awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
We'd love to get that information from you so that we can feature it as well as the donation links for your work that you've done. I know that the disabled community is going to be learning more and more about this, and I'd love to be able to give them a way to give back and thank you. And I'm sure, like you said, you can turn around and give that right back to charitable causes or, you know, development causes or anything else that you know see as good to give back and pay forward. So.
Well, you know what? For me, it's totally not about, you know, me getting a donation. If you don't have a PayPal or anything like that, you know what? If you just say, "Hey, Treason, thanks" on Twitter, you know what I mean? That feels good. That makes me say, you know what? People are using this thing. You know, let me get back to work on it and make it a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's really more about, you know, just saying thanks. You know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be in monetary form. You know? Gotcha.
And I'm sure that a lot of people, now that they'll get to know you more, will come out of the woodworks and spread the love around. I definitely appreciate your work and been a fan for a while, and I'm glad that I can, you know, kind of pay it forward so that all the effort you put in is actually helping others, even though you weren't intending to do that. It's kind of a big deal to have a person with muscular dystrophy essentially, you know, be empowered to gain a portion of their life back. So
yeah, you know, that when you mentioned that really, you know, I had no clue, but that's really awesome. You know, that's great that, you know, that it's being used in that way. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, and it opened my eyes to what's really missing in the scene, is that there isn't a lot of focus or attention paid to accessibility tweaks like that. You know, maybe someone can figure out a way to integrate Siri to send it out, like, you know, do different commands that would help them. but just really focusing on the assistive part. So I think it's gonna blow up, you know.
Well, what it kind of is that I think the majority of the developers, you know, tackle things that they want the phone to do for themselves. You know what I mean? And that ends up being the main reason, I would think, for the majority of the tweaks or the majority of the apps, is that, you know, the really good ones are ones that the developer actually uses. And it fills some kind of hole inside of their life where it's like, you know, oh man, I wish I could get the phone to do this. Then I wouldn't have to waste all this time doing that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that probably explains the lack of those kinds of apps. You know what I mean? Because for a developer to write that kind of an app, it would really have to be a selfless thing where it's like, I'm just writing this for someone else's use, not for my own.
Gotcha.
You know? So, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome, Treason. I know it's like you said, you want it to be able to kind of make your life easier, but in the process, you've made a lot of other people's lives easier. So, again, we certainly appreciate your work.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks.
Yeah, so keep in touch with us. You know, JailbreakCon's coming up here soon. We'd love to see you if you can make it out.
Is it over the summer?
Yeah, we're going to do it this summer in the San Francisco Bay Area. So you might have to
cool.
come and get some sunshine.
There you go. Sounds good.
And then you can really talk face to face with a lot of these big names. And I'm pretty sure, you know, Sarek and all the rest of the guys are going to be over there.
Cool.
So it'd be good to collaborate and let them hear your opinions.
Nice.
So I'll go ahead and get this put together. Look for it coming out. I am going to converse with some of my colleagues and find the best avenue to put this out, but I'm sure it'll get passed along to everyone, and I'll let you know when it goes live. What I'm going to do next is do an interview with the disabled people and have them kind of, you know, tell their end of the story, and then I'll just put it all together and put it out there. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Treason. We are here with Kris Napper. He is the co-founder and senior designer at Geeks Riot. This is the second part of our jailbreak interview with the developer of Wi-Fi SMS, Treason, and now the co-founder and senior designer at Geeks Riot, Kris Napper. So welcome to the interview, Kris.
Thanks.
Any shout outs you want to give to anybody, your mom, your friends?
Shout out to my Geeks Riot team, man.
So yeah, I've been thinking about doing this little piece to kind of show the world and the community, you know, what jailbreaking is all about. I get a lot of questions from people, you know, what is jailbreaking? Is it even worth it? You know, will it brick your phone? Will it destroy your phone? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the headaches? So whenever I find stories like yours, I try to put that out there so people can know, you know, there are real benefits to jailbreaking. You know? It wasn't like you woke up one day and said, hey, you know, I want to unlock my phone. We discovered something that jailbreaking made possible, and that would help your life for the better. And that's why we talked about it, right? Because you approached me. I mean, do you remember what you had found out and what you talked to me about?
Yeah, well, you know, I work from my computer most of the day, and being disabled, moving my arms a lot is kind of difficult. And so getting my arm down from my computer to my phone all the time to check text messages and send text messages was kind of difficult, and I tried to shy away from texting because of it. And so I was wondering if there was a way that I could text through my computer. So I figured out through Gmail I can control through my computer, and I wanted to figure out how to text. So I Googled it and found a video of someone doing the Wi-Fi SMS texting. And so I hit you up about it, and you explained how that worked, and helped me make it happen.
Yeah, so that was right up my alley. I was kind of shocked when you asked me about it because, you know, you're not known to jailbreak your phone, so
Uh-huh.
you must have done some research and found something out there that was beneficial for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played with Wi-Fi SMS in the past, and so we got it going for you right away. And it turns out that now it's almost turned on a light for you. I mean, you went from not texting to just blowing up the text messages. What's that been like? The reaction from your friends and family?
Oh man, I had some friends. They didn't believe it was me texting them. They're like, Kris doesn't use punctuation. Who is this? Like, who's texting me? It was too fast. Who was that? And,
Yeah, yeah, you're responding like almost right away with these.
yeah. So my friends were happy I actually answered them. Like instead of waiting days and days for me to answer them. But yeah, it's a lot easier to get a hold of me now, and I can get a hold of other people. Texting's a pretty convenient way to keep in contact. And for me, like texting is always kind of difficult. So now I can text people. It's a lot easier to keep in contact with people.
So how has that changed your overall outlook on jailbreaking and the whole realm of this movement of jailbreaking your device?
Oh man, I love it. Like, I mean, without it, I wouldn't be able to do all this with those restrictions that are on there. So, I mean, for me, it's almost like a necessity. I have to have it to be able to use my phone like anybody else would. And so I'm happy that that's available for me to take advantage of.
Mm-hmm. And so would you say that going forward, you're going to continue to jailbreak and keep up with the whole community of jailbreaking now?
Oh, definitely. They're doing awesome stuff. And I think it's nothing but positive from them.
Mm-hmm. And so what's ironic is now you're actually involved with the jailbreaking community. Can you give us some information about what you're actually doing now?
Yeah, so our company, Geeks Riot, is producing the apparel for the Worldwide Jailbreak Con, which is happening soon, this summer, fall. And so, yeah, that's been exciting. I didn't originally know a whole lot about jailbreaking, but through this, I'm gaining some knowledge and helping them out, and they're doing some incredible stuff, and a lot of people are pretty excited about it, so I'm happy to be involved.
So now you went from, never having jailbroken your phone to jailbreaking it, having it improve your life, and now you're actually making an impact on the jailbreak community by creating this awesome apparel for the Worldwide Jailbreak Convention.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help them. I mean, they obviously helped me with my Wi-Fi SMS, and to be able to maybe even give back in a way, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. And in the first part of our interview with Treason, the developer of Wi-Fi SMS, he has a lot of great input on what he'd like to see in the community and what he'd like to see at Jailbreak Con. So if you had anything to say to Treason, if he's watching this right now, what would you like to say to him?
Man, I just like to tell him thank you for developing this, and let him know how much it's really helped me out, and I support him and anything else he's doing, because he's definitely been a big help for me.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to appreciate hearing that. He's a great guy. We had a great interview together, and so we're really looking forward to Worldwide Jailbreak Con coming up here in the fall, and things like this. We want to continue to see innovation like this coming from the jailbreak community that makes a real impact beyond just cool UI elements, and those kind of mods are fun to play with, but when you make real change through jailbreaking like this, it's pretty exciting. So
definitely,
we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to seeing you at WWJC 2012 in San Francisco. You gonna be there?
I hope so. I'm working on it.
Cool. And yeah, so thanks for taking the time to interview with us today, and we'll look forward to seeing you some more in the future.
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks.
All right, Kris.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Okay, take care.
Bye.